everyone, and welcome to a fun time. I've got my ears on because today's story is The Same Branch, and that book takes place in the Amazon jungle. And you know there are many fascinating, exciting, and strange and different animals in the jungle. So I have my jungle ears on. Do you have any? Well, why don't you get your ears and your storybook, and we're going to get started reading about The Same Branch. Are you ready to have fun? I hope so. Let's look at the cover of your book and my book and figure out what the story is going to be about. Can you see it? Well, what can you see? What animals can you see in this picture? Can you see monkeys? I can. But hey, do you see that too? There's something on the monkey's back. What is that? Well, that's a sloth. How many sloths? Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sloths, and they're all on a monkey each. I can also see a bird who is pecking his nose on a tree. Yes, that's right. They're in the trees. There are many trees, and it looks like they are walking through the trees, or maybe in this case, jumping through the trees. Very interesting. What's our story going to be about? Well, remember, the title is The Same Branch. So, the same means one, and that everyone might be on that branch. Do you think? Well, why don't we get started by looking at page 1 and see if that gives any hints to the characters of our story. So we're looking at the picture on page 1, and it looks like a happy picture. Don't you think so? I see 4 sloths, and they look like they're sleeping, I think. They're just hanging around doing what sloths like to do. They like to hang on trees. And there is one sloth that is lying on top of the tree. Wow, it's a very happy photo. I also noticed that there are 2 sloths that are very big and 2 that are smaller. I wonder, do you think that this might be a family? We're going to have to read to find out about that one. So, where are these sloths? Well, they're in a beautiful, big, green tree. Yes, and I think it's in a jungle, because that's where sloths live, yes? Now, is it daytime or nighttime? Well, if you're looking closely, you can see that it looks like it's daytime. The sun is coming out and things are bright. Are you excited about reading? I hope so. So why don't we look at the top of page 1 to read about our new characters.
Page 1. Ronnie and Anne are sloths. They live in the Amazon jungle in Brazil. They're very happy sloths. They live together in a beautiful big green tree near the Amazon River. They have 2 babies. Their babies' names are Reginald and Jemima. Sloths are slow, quiet animals.
Who are those sloths? Well, you're right. It is Ronnie and Anne. We've met them before. But now Ronnie and Anne have grown up. They're older, and they have 2 babies. Oh, it's so exciting. And what are those babies' names? Well, their names are Reginald and Jemima. Oh, they seem so happy, are they? Yes, they are happy. Where do they live? They live in the Amazon jungle in a beautiful big green tree near the Amazon River. Life is good, and so are their 2 babies, Reginald and Jemima. Great! So, what happens next? Let's finish off the page and find out.
The 4 sloths live a quiet life in the jungle. Some days they swim in the Amazon River. Some days they fight anacondas. Some days they climb vines up the Amazon poison tree. but mostly they are tired and do nothing. They hang from their branches and sleep.
No surprises here, are there? Well, the 4 sloths live a quiet life in the Amazon jungle. There's not a lot of action going on for them, except when they're swimming in the Amazon River, when they're fighting with the anacondas, and climbing the poison tree. So they like to do those things, but they also like to just hang around and do nothing. They like to sleep. They can do those other things some days, but mostly they like to hang from their branch and sleep. Sounds like a very quiet life, don't you think? Yes, and we know from the picture that they are very happy. Sounds fantastic. All right, let's turn to page 2 and check out that picture. What can we see here? Well, I can see that Anne, she's in light gray, is reaching out. Can you see her arm? She's reaching down. And Jemima, who is kind of a yellowish color, sloth, has her hand over her face. And look at Ronnie as well. Can you see him? He's reaching as well. What are they reaching for? What is happening? Oh, you saw it too, huh? They're reaching down for Reginald. Reginald is falling from the tree. Wow, I'm really scared for him. I wonder what happened. I can see in the background the Amazon River and the crocodile. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? So why don't we read page 2 to find out how Reginald started to fall down from the tree. So we're going to read the top part of the page.
Page 2. One afternoon, the 4 sloths are hanging from branches in their tree. They are looking at all the animals in the jungle. Suddenly, Ronnie hears the leaves in the tree. He looks down. Reginald is falling. "Ah, help!" shouts Reginald. Reginald falls a long way. The tree is very big. He falls through leaves and all the way to the ground.
So it's one beautiful afternoon and everyone is hanging from the branches like they always do. But what happens is that while they're looking at all the animals in the jungle, while they're looking, Reginald hears something in the leaves, right? He hears something and he looks down. When he looks down, he starts to fall. Oh my goodness, Reginald is falling. And what does Reginald do? He shouts, "Ah, help!" because he's falling. Remember, he is a baby, so he's very small. And this must be very scary for him. Have you ever fallen down? How did it feel? Did you hurt yourself? I wonder if Reginald hurts himself. Why don't we read the bottom of the page and find out what happens to Reginald?
"Reginald, are you okay?" asks Anne. Reginald lies on the ground of the jungle. He looks up at his family. He is scared. "Mom, Dad, help me!" he shouts.
The tree that Reginald falls down from has a lot of leaves. So Reginald, when he's falling, he falls through the leaves, and I think they slow down his speed. And then he hits the ground. And his mother is saying, "Reginald, are you okay?" You know, both his parents want to know, "Are you okay?" Reginald shouts back, "Mom, Dad, help me." He needs help because now he's by himself at the bottom of the tree. He's on the ground. Is he okay? Well, he's talking back to his parents, so I think that he is probably okay, but still probably scared that he's fallen so far. How about it? Why don't we look at the picture on page 3 and see what clues that can give us to how Reginald is feeling. So, do you have it? Can you see it? What can you see? Can you see Reginald on the ground? Yes, he's in the middle of the picture, and his hand is over his eye. So he might be in a little bit of pain, I think. He might be crying. What else can we see? On the top of the page, you can see that Anne is looking down at Reginald, and Jemima is looking as well. But Ronnie is doing what? Well, he seems to be looking at Reginald, but at the same time, he looks like he's climbing down the tree. Do you think that he is going to go after him? It's a possibility. Very interesting picture. What else can you see in that picture? Did you see that interesting spider, it looks like, at the top of the page? I think it's a tarantula. Ooh, kind of scary. Did you know that there were tarantulas in the Amazon forest? I wonder if we're going to see that tarantula again in this story. Well, let's read page 3 and find out more things that are going to happen to Reginald and the other sloths.
Page 3. Ronnie looks at Anne. Anne looks at Ronnie. Jemima looks at her mother and father. "What are we going to do?" asks Jemima. Ronnie looks down at Reginald. "This is a very big tree," he says to Anne. "I can climb down, but it is going to take a long time."
What is the family going to do? Well, Ronnie looks at Anne, Anne looks at Ronnie. They want to help their baby, don't they? Of course they do. So they say, "What are we going to do?" Ronnie says that he can go get Reginald. He can climb down, but it's going to take a long time. Remember, these are sloths, and they do everything slowly. So, in this case, Reginald might be on the ground for a long time. So, what is he going to do? I think Ronnie is going to, he definitely wants to, go climb down the tree to get Reginald. Let's finish off the page.
"Go," says Anne. "You must help Reginald. There are dangerous animals in the jungle. I can look after Jemima." Ronnie looks down at Reginald and begins to climb down the tree.
"Go," says Anne. You know, this is her baby. She's the mother, so she really wants to help Reginald. So she says to Ronnie, "Go. I can help Jemima. I can stay with her and keep her safe. There's so many animals in the jungle to be afraid of." So with that, Ronnie looks at Reginald and starts to go down the tree. Slowly, because sloths are slow. So it's interesting that Anne is worried about Reginald because of all the other dangerous animals in the jungle. Now that she knows Reginald is safe, that he is okay on the ground, she's worried about other animals coming and being near him. Why is she afraid of that? Well, there are many dangerous animals out there, aren't there? So you have to be careful. What animals are you afraid of? Are you afraid of dogs or cats? Well, a lot of people have those as pets, but there are some animals that are very kind of scary because they have a big mouth and teeth. Can you think of any? Some that are very fast? Well, I can think of a lion. Wow, the king of the jungle. Very king of all the animals, isn't it? Kind of scary. And then in the cat family, we have panthers. They're also very scary. Big teeth. Pumas, jaguars. And don't forget about that anaconda snake. That could actually eat a sloth in one big bite. Wow, that's something, isn't it? What other animals can you think of that are very dangerous? Well, even tarantulas can be dangerous. There are many animals out there who are dangerous. And why are they? Well, they need to protect themselves from other animals. So in animal life, there are some animals who like to eat other animals. And because of that, some animals have to be faster than the others. Some animals have to be stronger than the other ones as well. So they might seem dangerous to me or to you, but there's a reason why. Because they need to keep themselves safe too.
Stop and pop.
And in this case, Anne wants to keep Reginald safe. So she wants to go get him as quickly as possible. I like the story already because it's a story about Ronnie and Anne. And I think they're very interesting. I know they're very smart as well because I've read another story about them. But this story is good. Why? Well, it started off with a happy family. Very fun. And, they're doing what they like to do, hanging around, sleeping, they're looking at other animals. But what is really scary is that one of their babies, one member of their family, has fallen from the tree. Very scary for Reginald. And I have a feeling that there's going to be more interesting things to come in the book. But for now, we have Reginald on the ground at the bottom of the tree, and we have Ronnie climbing down to go after him. What's going to happen next? Well, you're going to have to wait to find out. But let's talk about your homework. For your homework, I would like you to read pages 4 until 7. That's right. So you're going to read more about Reginald and what happens to him. Sounds very fun. I also would like you to do your workbook. You're going to do the questions that have to do with the pages that we read today. And of course, you must check your tape to make sure your answers are correct. Sounds like a lot of fun. Until next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye.